Hello, my friends. Today we will be reading a new book. Its title is The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolf. Esta portada me recuerda a una revista. It reminds me of a news article titled Daily Wolf. As told to join, Siska illustrated by Lane Smith. Have you ever thought about the true story of the Three Little Pigs? We know the story from the Three Little Pigs' perspective. Now let's hear it from the wolf's perspective. The True Story of the Three Little Pigs by A. Wolf. To Jerry and Molly. JS and LS. Everybody knows the story of the Three Little Pigs, or at least they think they know. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I am the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I don't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you are big and bad too. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. Veo un estornudo, I see a nose sneezing and a cup of sugar. Me pregunto qué tiene que ver. This is the real story. Vamos a escuchar. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold. I ran out of sugar. Achoo! So I walked on the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house out of straw? So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk in someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed. Achoo! And I sneezed a great sneeze. Ay, 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 otra vez, está estornudando. And you know what? The whole darn straw house fell down. And right in the middle of the pile of straw was the first little pig, dead as a doornail. He had been home the whole time. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw. So I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just laying there. I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of sticks. I rang the bell on the stick house. Nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, Go away, Wolf! You can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Achoo! And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig, dead as a doornail. Wolf's honor. Se murió el cerdito. Me pregunto qué va a hacer el lobo. Ya se comió el primer cerdito. ¿Crees que se vaya a comer el segundo? Now you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in there open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. Think of it as a second helping. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little better, and I still didn't have the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was the first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house of bricks. What does it mean when someone says the brains of the family? What do you think it means? He definitely built a house out of bricks and it's probably stronger. That is a smart thing to do. I knocked on the brick house, no answer. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what the rude little poker answered? Get out of here, Wolf! Don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear sweet old granny's birthday cake. What a pig! I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, And your old granny can sit on a pin. ¡Qué grosero! ¡Ay, ay, ay! El tercer cerdito se portó tan grosero con el lobo, corriéndolo de su casa y deseándole cosas malas a su abuela. How do you think the wolf felt? Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down the pig's door. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. Uy, veo aquí a los fotógrafos. Le están tomando fotos al lobo que está estornudando y se quiere meter a la casa. Ahora sí, enojado. The Daily Pig. Big Bad Wolf. Wolf. All huff and puff. Ay, 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 las noticias están poniendo en mal al lobo. The news are saying that the wolf is bad. Well, but we know the wolf told us that he was only looking for what? A cup of sugar for his granny's birthday cake, right? Vamos a ver qué pasa. The rest, as they say, is history. The news reporters found out about the 2 pigs I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting, so they jazzed up a story with all of that. Huff and puff and blow your house down. And they made me the big bad wolf. That's it, the real story. I was framed. But maybe you can loan me a cup of sugar. Pig's pen. Y colorín colorado, este cuento se ha acabado. Ay, este lobo se quedó en la cárcel, parece que por mucho, mucho tiempo. Puedes ver sus canas. You can see its gray hair. I wonder for how long you've been in jail. Bueno, ¿qué te pareció? What did you think of the big bad wolf? Does it seem like he is big and bad? No lo sé. I wonder what you think of the story. Vamos a platicarlo después. Chao, mis amigos.